Thank you for tuning in to the 2024 primary election candidate forum for the Legislative District 22 Senate position. There are 3 candidates participating in this forum: Jessica Bateman, Teela Hogle, and Bob Ayal.
We need to expand access to contraception in schools and in every arena where our youth are participating in our society.
How would you address the need for more behavioral health services?
I would want to secure more funding, a designated revenue stream, and I do believe we need to increase accessibility for students who already have HIPAA rights at the age of 13, but they aren't protected with HIPAA rights at schools with counselors. I will be working towards instituting a universal basic income, and in this area, I would like to see our schools fully funded, and I would like to make sure that gender-affirming care is secured with reproductive care.
Pizza Klatch is a nonprofit organization based out of Olympia, Washington, that facilitates lunchtime support groups for LGBTQ+ youth at participating high schools in Thurston County. Klatches are held during lunchtime in a confidential space on school campuses and are run by trained LGBTQ+ facilitators. Students are in no way required to share their sexuality or gender identity to attend, and all allies are welcome. Groups begin with students sharing their names, pronouns, and their high and low of the week. From there, every Klatch is unique in the way that discussions center around the particular needs of the group of students in each Klatch. The purpose of Pizza Klatch is to give our vulnerable LGBTQ youth an outlet to share their thoughts, feelings, and to gather access to resources around gender and sexuality. Our aim is to help reduce incidents of self-harm, suicidal ideation, and to promote resilience in our students. Our anonymous student surveys each year show that many students report a decrease in feelings of isolation and self-harm after attending Klatch. People often ask why we call Pizza Klatch, and the answer is that pizza is because of the free pizza we provide for the students, and Klatch is a Yiddish word meaning meetup or gathering. You might have heard the term coffee klatch before. Also, it's much easier for young folks who are perhaps not out to family, friends, or even themselves to say, "I'm going to Pizza Klatch today," rather than "I'm going to a support group for queer and trans teens." Pizza Klatch began in 2007 as a response to a rash of suicides amongst LGBTQ+ teens in Thurston County. A group of LGBTQ+ licensed therapists, school administrators, and parents came together in the hope to find a way to better support the queer and trans youth of our community. Initially, they organized an after-school program with North Thurston High School, which was successful, but was unfortunately discontinued that year due to some students in attendance who were punished by their disapproving parents when they found out they stayed after school to attend an LGBTQ+ group. Thanks to the dedication of those original founders, as well as the support from the North Thurston School District and the students themselves, Pizza Klatch was able to move to lunchtime during the school day, and the very first slice at the very first Pizza Klatch lunchtime support group was served in the fall of 2008. Since then, Pizza Klatch has grown exponentially every year due to high demand and increasing need. As of 2019, our program was in all 14 public high schools of Thurston County, along with 1 middle school. Our team of staff and volunteer facilitators were running 28 Klatches per week, supporting over 440 LGBTQ+ students on a weekly basis. Of course, those numbers changed drastically in 2020, along with many ways in which we were able to run our program. But we are still reaching out to students at each of our schools weekly via online Klatches, and in the last few months started an online gaming group for PK students from all schools to socialize and play amongst themselves. On behalf of the staff at Pizza Klatch, our amazing board of directors, and our absolutely incredible group of volunteers that have stuck with us through so much,
I'm Mia, and I love Pizza Klatch because I brought in a couple friends who were feeling kind of lost. Some friends who didn't really know themselves very well, and Pizza Klatch provided a space for them to really experiment with being who they were and being who they wanted to be. A lot of my friends just didn't know really what pronouns to use, or they didn't have a place where they could feel safe even experimenting with that type of thing. And so I think Pizza Klatch is really important because it fills a super just condensed niche that no other place can provide.
A heartbreaking update to a story we brought you last month. The death of Oklahoma student Nex Benedict has been ruled a suicide, according to the state medical examiner. Friends and family said the 16-year-old was transgender and had been bullied a number of times at school. NBC News correspondent Antonia Hilton has been following this story and joins us now. Antonia, what else did the medical examiner's report say?
Well, Ellison, this report showed that Nex Benedict committed suicide by using or taking in a combination of antihistamines and antidepressants at a toxic level, just one day after friends and family say that Nex was attacked in a bathroom by 3 classmates after Nex had thrown water on them for making fun of the way that he and a friend were dressed. And so what we've heard from students and some community members who've spoken to NBC News is that there is a culture there in this school of that bullying, and that in some ways they feel like Nex has been failed by his community. And this is a story that's now spread across the country. Even the president has released a statement saying that in memory of Nex, we must all recommit to our work to end discrimination and address the suicide crisis impacting too many non-binary and transgender children. And so this is really, for many people, becoming a rallying cry, another example of the way in which the culture wars, anti-LGBTQ legislation and rhetoric is having a real impact on families, schools, and kids.
Yeah, Antonia, let's talk a little more about that, because you have reported so extensively on all of this across the United States. I mean, LGBTQ plus advocates, they say this is part of the larger onslaught of legislation that has made trans students feel and become less safe when they're at school. What specifically are they arguing? And when we're talking about this bigger pattern in your broader reporting, how does all of this tie in?
Well, Ellison, what they're effectively arguing is that when we talk about policy, when we talk about books being banned in schools, it may sound like these are theoretical things or just minor policy differences that adults are debating at the Capitol or at school board meetings, but that they actually, in the view of civil rights organizers, lawyers, many educators and advocates, they actually have a direct impact on the mental health of children. It can affect their health outcomes, their safety at school. And that's what Nex's case really represents to all of them. You can see there on the screen. A survey from 2022 by the Trevor Project found that more than 40% of youth, about the ages of 13 to 24, seriously considered suicide, and that the rates are actually higher for transgender and non-binary children. And when you talk to doctors, I've spoken to everyone from the medical community to educators, what they say is there is a connection between our culture war and these health outcomes.
Antonia Hilton, thank you. Amazing reporting as always. We appreciate it. And for anyone who may be struggling or considering suicide, help is always available. You can call or text the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988, or you can reach out online, 988lifeline.org. Other groups like the Trevor Project, they are always there to help as well.
Why did you say protected children is white supremacy?
What?
I have a screenshot of a comment you made on Facebook, Teela, that where you said protected children in quotes is white supremacy. Why did...
I don't recall the context.
I'm going to clip into this video that screenshot that I have, along with others.
Okay.
So it's something you said, so like why don't you just...
I would have to see the context of my post.
You can call me out for the things I say publicly. Why don't you answer the things that you're willing to say in one place but not
I don't
another?
know what what post you're referring to.
Let them have a conversation. Come on. This is the problem here, you guys.
This is a form of
try to
Maoism.
block.
This is American Maoism.
We cannot meet somewhere in the middle and have a conversation. He's asking a question.
There's a reason why, though. It's an American form of Maoism, whereas Maoism in China was a Chinese form of Marxism. We're dealing with a specifically American form of Maoism.
But this right here, I'm not talking about the sign, but moving it in between is the problem with what's happening in our
You're
culture.
looking at a specific tactic as part of a larger.
Teela, answer his question. Why won't
I
you
would say
answer
plan.
his question?
What's his question?
About the comment that you made.
Well, I'd have to see the comment.
You made a comment
Can you
that
not say I didn't say that?
I don't know.
I
if
either
said
did
it.
or didn't. But if you did, do you agree with that? Come on.
Raining? Well, these umbrellas coming out.
Yeah, I mean,
Raining, I guess.
Well, you said that white supremacy. You said that protected children is white supremacy.
Where are we
Okay.
going?
So I'm calling you out in public because you said that in public, and now your handlers are coming to talk to you about the fact that I know what I'm talking about.
We're not her handlers. You came over to us.
I came over to you. I came over to you.
Would you accept your child if she was straight?
A customer for
Oh
life.
yeah, both my kids are cisgender and heterosexual.
I don't think
I
that
don't
if you could
understand
prove,
cisgender.
if you could
Well,
prove
like if you
transgenderism,
identify with the gender that you were assigned at birth, then you are cisgender.
So like
No,
cis fat,
that's just
trans
brainwashing.
fat?
So like
No,
you're
absolutely
cisgender
not.
if you believe yourself
Clown block is not
to
going to work on
align
me
with
at all.
what you believe your genitals.
So it's like trans fat.
do you think that you can make an
cis fat.
argument then to convince us that
No.
okay, because
I'm not
for me,
here to
I
argue
reject
with
the
you.
existence of transgender children.
I'm just
entirely.
curious.
But don't blame us for anything that you think is happening
Because
because
I
that's
do not
not
believe
me.
I
that.
mean, especially
People are
when the
transgender.
safety of children are at stake.
Here would be my question: is
Yeah,
what
you
role
should
does
be
the government have in this? Because shouldn't it be just left
Well,
up
I
to
think the government
families?
should protect all parents' right to get the care for their children that their children need.
Define
Okay,
care.
but this bill is actually
Define
bypassing
need.
that, and if
Yeah.
the children leave, they can be
Well, that's
given
because
the
a lot
surgery
of
without
parents
it.
are more dangerous to be around than.
By protecting.
Well, I mean, a lot
See,
of
this
them
person
tell
wants the
them
state to
leave
take
the
your
house.
kids.
You're just
so that they can
you
train
are
them.
not only a customer for
If
life,
your
but you're
child
literally
thinks
asking
that it's
the
a
state to
girl,
groom
this
children.
person wants the state to give
No.
them
Put them out on
drugs
the
and to
street
cut off
after
their
they're
genitals.
done.
But let's say
Do you think I groom children?
Hang on,
I
hang
don't
on.
know, but your lifestyle.
What you're doing, you are grooming children.
Let's say a 14-year-old runs away from home. Let's say a 14-year-old boy runs away from home. And does the state have the right to give them protected medical services?
If their parents are dangerous to be around, yes.
But then
dude,
define dangerous.
I mean, you're just creating.
Well, a dangerous parent,
You're creating some sort of fiction and making it. You're trying to make it a reality. That's
Well,
not,
I mean,
that's
what's-
not,
what's-
no, that's called the color of
You're
law.
rationalizing.
Why is it any
the state raising
different
children.
to groom your children to be cisgender?
It's not grooming. It's the default state of reality.
It is grooming.
Cisgender doesn't exist.
There's no medical
Transgender
procedure.
doesn't
There's no
exist.
money behind making me a heterosexual.
You exist as a male. You're a
There was
human.
no
No,
money
I'm not a
poured
man.
into making me a heterosexual male. I'm sorry.
If you were born with a dick, you're not a chick. That's the end of it.
Yeah, sorry.
Right?
There's no
That makes you a guy.
over here.
So take your dick to the other side.
Can we
You're
go
a
into some
real man.
counseling?
Oh, welcome here. Hey. You know, it would just be a lot easier if you guys said the quiet part out loud.
Which is what?
Well, that transgenderism should be eradicated.
What Michael Knowles said is that the concept itself should not be supported by the public, within the government, and within the civic body. So when he says it should be eradicated, he's saying the concept of transgenderism should be eradicated. Not you.
Well, the
You should be free to who you
concept
are,
of
and every child should be
cisgenderism
free
should
to
be
be who they are,
eradicated, too.
and under the purview.
Okay, here's a question for you. If trans kids are too young to decide what gender they are, then shouldn't all kids be on puberty blockers?
You can't decide what
wait.
There's no floor with you guys. That's why we have to stop you guys in your tracks because there's no floor. There's no bottom.
Can we stop yelling?
Yeah, no, that's outrageous.
No child should
That
be
is
giving
absolutely
medication.
outrageous.
Brother,
It's not even worth.
There's no reason to give
No, I agree.
puberty blockers. There's
Well,
no
but
reason
it's
to
already
have
been-
It's already shouldn't have it.
It's already been
Wants us to
proven
say that.
that gender-affirming
He wants to
care
rationalize it.
saves lives.
Only for kids that are so depressed that they're going to kill themselves because they don't know who they are.
So you think those kids
No.
should not receive the care
No,
they
they
need?
shouldn't. I think they should get mental health care, and at 18, if they want to have the surgery, then they should have it. You can't drink alcohol, you can't smoke marijuana, you can't get a tattoo, you can't own a gun, you can't get your nipples pierced, you can't get your tongue pierced, not until you're 18. They shouldn't
Right.
be able to have any of that surgery.
Well,
until
those
they're
aren't
18.
life-saving.
No, but this is life
Where's
the
altering.
line,
It's
though?
life altering.
What's
To
going to
change
save
that
your,
is
what's
all
saving your
life-altering.
life from getting your genitals removed or replaced or whatever it is?
Well, what if you have cancer?
Cancer's a different story. We're not out here fighting that they shouldn't be
There's no
removing
strong man that
women's
you can create
breasts.
So,
that's
like-
gonna fix this.
So,
You're
like,
miscarriage?
what?
stay away from the kids.
Miscarriage?
Well, I haven't looked to see if I have a uterus yet, but you know,
You're
a
speculative
man
on
just
whether
had
or
a
not you have a
hernia
uterus, though,
operation
right?
and
That's
they give him a full
You're
hysterectomy.
born with the uterus, though, is the thing.
Well, so are people who are grandfathers and
Grandfather.
have children.
That's a man.
They're born with uteruses, men?
Well, yeah, this guy just
Man.
went in for a hernia operation, and they ended up giving him a full hysterectomy. And you can look it up right now on Google.
Okay, well, see that he was born that way.
Is that normal?
That's born. Some people are born. Some people are born
It's
with
as
full
normal
parts.
as you or me.
But listen, some people are
Well,
born
wait a
with
minute.
full parts. That's
Who's-
understandable. But
Does
not,
not
if you're
my
not born with it.
existence mean I'm as normal as anyone else?
I mean, you're wearing a dress. What do you think?
I don't know. I really don't know.
No, bro, you're supposed
What do you
to
think?
joint
I have the
arguing
same
for
question
sexual
for you.
mutilation of
What?
children.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
smoking a joint,
Smoking a
arguing,
joint, arguing for the
arguing
sexual
for kids. What do you-
mutilization of children. You're trying to normalize the
No,
sexual
it's not
mutilization of children.
mutilization.
Yes, it is.
Circumcision is mutilation.
That's
It's
why
the
my
same
children
thing.
are intact,
It's the
That's
same
circumcision?
thing. Once you have a sex change, you cannot go back.
bro.
Right.
So if
Once
you're
Right, that's
so
why-
if you're a 6-year-old child and
Six-year-old
you
children
decided
get
that you
sex
wanted to get a
changes.
sex change, that's what they're trying to do. You
No,
don't
they're
understand.
not.
You don't even understand your laws or your biology or your
At a certain
physiology.
point,
So
I
how can
do.
you argue that?
Have you ever? When did you decide you
Hi,
were
Alex.
cisgender?
I'm Sarah.
I'm not cisgender. I'm a
Yeah, you
straight
are.
woman. No, I'm
Well,
a
cisgender means-
straight
Do you
female.
identify
I'm
as a
adult
woman?
female woman.
Do you
I'm not going to
identify-
put any crazy names on it
Okay.
because I don't want to give any crazy. I'm not going to label it.
So when did you decide you're a woman?
You want to know the full story? The full story?
Yeah.
When I was 13 years old, I thought I was bisexual because that was the fad, okay? Cutting your hair
Well-
short and getting, dressing like the rocker people.
So because-
I thought I was bisexual, okay? Up until I was 21 years old, I thought that I was bisexual until I realized, 1, it's wrong. 2, it's a lie. It was a lie my whole life. It was
Well,
a
you
lie
don't
because
have to
I
live a
wanted
lie.
to fit in.
You don't.
It's a
you don't-
lie.
Yeah, well,
it's
if
a lie.
you
The problem
decide
is that you guys
be
can't accept
bisexual-
who you are as a person.
What?
Can you get pregnant? Look at me in the eye.
Not any more than my mom can.
You can't get pregnant, man.
My mom
Because you're a
can't.
man.
No.
You can't
How
get
does that
pregnant.
anatomy
Your
work?
mom was able to.
Well, she was able to.
And you were
How
born,
does that
and you were born
anatomy
through a woman.
How does that
You had to
anatomy
come through a
work?
woman's
What
vagina
anatomy?
to
Having
be
a
born.
baby, getting pregnant. How, as a man, can you get pregnant?
Well, if I was a man with a uterus, I could get pregnant.
Men don't have
You would
uteruses.
be a woman then.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Because trans
Men don't have
men
uterus.
are men.
No, but a man cannot go and get a sex change and end up with a uterus. It doesn't happen like that. Yeah, I know. I'm just keep exposing your mentally
What?
ill.
You're mentally ill, dude.
The problem
I'm
is you
mentally
guys can't
ill?
accept who you are. You guys took God out of your hearts and you're angry.
Oh my God,
and
I
so the
love
reason
God.
why is because you guys are empty with yourself. You
I
have
love
an
God.
empty veil, and so you decided that I'm so glad that you have
Why
God
do
in your
you
heart.
you really think you know what I did?
But you think you know what we did.
No, I
and
don't.
What we do.
No,
Yes.
you're allowed
You came over
to
here
try
assuming.
out bisexuality and
Which
be
I
like,
did.
hey, it's not for me. I tried out being straight, heterosexual for 48 years, and it didn't work for me.
And we're
I
not-
almost killed myself.
We're not against gay people. We're not against trans people. Our problem is it does not need to be pushed on our children.
It's not being pushed
When
on
our
us.
children are
Yes, it is.
18 years
No.
old.
Yes.
No,
it is.
No.
Yes.
Cisgenderism is being
No, there's
pushed
no
on our kids.
stop with the cis
No.
nonsense.
No.
Heterosexual
When did you
behavior.
decide you were a guy?
When did I decide?
Yeah.
I've known it. I've known it all my life.
Yeah.
So your mom, the doctor at your birth decided you were a guy because you have a penis, right?
God created man.
In male
No, it's
DNA.
not.
What? In male DNA.
Well, you know, if that's a definition of a guy,
So,
then
let me
the
ask you a question.
definition of a
Let me
woman
ask you a
is
question.
someone
Do you
who
really,
has a
do you
vagina
really
and
drink
a
tranny
uterus,
fluid, or
right?
is that just to have for show?
Right.
Yeah.
And like, in other words,
I
not
mean,
you.
Could you imagine? Could you?
Can't do
I
it.
asked him if he could get pregnant right to his face.
Could you imagine what it would be like to
I can't believe
have
actually
people
lecturing a woman.
define your womanhood because you have a uterus?
I'm
Just-
defined right
hold on,
here.
Hold on. Let
but
me,
what you
let
don't
me finish my
understand-
question.
Okay, go ahead.
I said,
Sassy.
how would it feel to you if you were defined as someone who has a uterus for the sole reason of other people regulating your uterus?
Feelings is just a feeling.
Nobody's regulating. One.
Well,
and
laws
two,
are.
Laws are regulating a lot of things, like forcing
Well,
your
I mean,
child
the
to have a sex
anti-abortion
change.
laws sweeping this country are regulating women's uterus.
So is COVID vaccines. What about
Well,
that?
I'm not
Did you
talking
agree with
about that.
No, but okay, but what you're
Well,
talking
COVID
about.
is not a defining factor like you're saying a uterus.
No, you're right,
is.
but the government tried to force
Yeah, but that's what
vaccines,
we're
right?
talking about.
But we can both agree that government shouldn't have anything to do with our body,
I would
right?
say the government does not have the right to tell parents how to care for their children.
But the government has the right?
No, the government doesn't
has
have
the
the
right?
right to say
So who has
how
the
a
right?
parent should care for the children, but they do have a right to protect children from parents who are abusive.
So, okay, yes, I agree with that. I agree that children who are in abusive families right now need more protection, but that's the problem is we're focused on this versus children who
Focused
are
on
actually
what?
being abused.
Mutilated
Do you know what
children.
SB 5599 is?
Oh yeah. No, I listened to the hearing.
Yeah, so that's
Listen to her,
one of
read
our
it.
issues.
I watched it.
Well, you need to read it because there's more to it than just what you can watch and what they say is in it.
Well, no,
More
this
to
was
it.
just, it wasn't the news. It was like the actual, you know.
TW,
It was,
like you go
I mean,
on the governor's
Jim Walsh
site.
was there.
That
Oh yeah,
doesn't
you're
matter.
watching
Doing his
the TW.
nonsense.
Politicians can talk all day long like you're doing.
All right, well, have a good day.
It was nice talking to you.